Welcome, everybody. Hope you're all doing great. How's everyone doing today? Good to have you guys on. You can post a comment down there if you want. I know we're live on a few different streams right now. I think YouTube is our main channel today, but I want to thank you all for plugging in. We've got a really full half hour to 45 minutes on how to make money as a speaker, how to turn your voice, turn your passion into a way to get paid some cash, and of course, just share some great information. So I want to first of all let everyone know this is Bill Walsh. I'm the CEO and founder of Power Team International. I'm really honored to be here today. I just want to make sure you get your pens and papers ready to go. Hello from Hollywood, California. Alicia, welcome. Good to have you on. And of course, don't be surprised if I might call you out and send you a link to jump on here and say a few words. Sometimes I do that with speakers. So if I see certain speakers on there that I might know, I might have you jump on and say hello. But most of you know already, my background's a venture capitalist business coach. I started out of high school and college, did turnarounds and fixed businesses. Went from there to, got burned out a bit, took a little time off because sometimes you got to check out to check back in. We teamed up with GoDaddy and Franklin Covey back in 2002 as a marketing partner and channel partner. Launched a business in the box called Successfolio. 2005, we launched the Rainmaker. Hello, Tuesday. And then, of course, we launched our incubator course, our venture fund. We began to run all the inspiration conferences, the Win Masterminds. We became the main sponsor for the Small Business Expo. We then launched our Platinum Speaker Program for those who want to speak and sell from stage. And we'll talk about that today as well. And I'm always looking for those speakers that would like to speak and sell from stage. So if you're listening today and you have a passion to speak and sell from stage, just put number 1 in the comment box. I know we've got a lot of folks plugging in from different parts. Hello, Laurel, good to have you on. Tuesday, Alicia, good to have you on. Michael, glad to have you on. Got a number of folks just kind of plugging in here. I know we're on a couple different channels as well. So I think got some stuff on Twitch. So there's some Twitch listeners here as well. I think someone else has kind of managed some of the Twitch. But I just want to say thanks for being here. But if you have a passion to speak and sell from stage, just put a number 1 in the comment box. Welcome, Tuesday. Good to have you. I'm not sure what green is. Or I think you're probably on YouTube. I'm not sure where the YouTube chat is at. But we're glad to have you here anyway. And after that, we began to run more events. Hey, SEL, welcome. Good to have you on YouTube. Thank you, thank you. We then moved from that to lots of live events. Hello, Suzanne. Good to have you on. Welcome. We decided to get even bigger, and we began to do book writing. Darcy, Tuesday, welcome. We began to launch internet marketing courses, book writing courses. We then, of course, opened the success centers. But the purpose of today's call is to really help you understand how do you monetize your voice from the stage? And that's really the message we're going to hit home today. And so whether you're a speaker or you're a coach or you're just thinking about doing something like this, those are all the right answers. There's no right or wrong. But what it really comes down to is a few things. I want to dive right into the content. I know we just kicked it off. Hello, Andy. Good to have you on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One of the big things that I found is that, and these are just things you have to know, is that whatever you plan to speak about, whatever you plan to get on stage and talk about, it is critically important that you have this one thing down to a science, right? And I just want to kind of talk about this because if you don't have this, then going on stage may not be the right thing for you. Does that make sense? Because people always tell me, well, Bill, I'm afraid to go on stage. I'm afraid to speak. No, you're afraid that when you get on stage, it might not come out perfectly. You're afraid that when you go on stage, it might not sound like you when you're having a one-on-one conversation. And so this one thing will change a lot of that, is that whatever you're going to go on stage, you've got to be great at. You got to be great at something. You do not have to be a great speaker. Do not make that mistake. I will train speakers that are tell me I'm not a great speaker. Are you great at what you do? And that's what I'm looking for. Today I'm looking for a group that can do these things. Number 1, you're great at what you do. It serves a lot of people. There's money in the space, and you probably do it for free, which means you're very passionate about it. So just write those down. Great at what you do, serves a lot of people, money in the space, super passionate, right? And the thing is that most of us don't, we don't know, and we're afraid to try it. So what I want you to always think about when you're going to take a stage, don't be so worried about if it's perfect or not. Be good with having a conversation. So if you're going to take a stage, number 1, you've got to know your material. But number 2, learn to have a conversation with the audience. Always ask a few questions. I know some people are starting watch parties. I appreciate that. Appreciate that big time. But the big thing is that when you're going to get on stage, learn to have a conversation right with the audience. Begin to ask how many are entrepreneurs, how many own a business, how many are looking for new ways to make money, how many want to become even healthier. You know, whatever your area of expertise is, put down some good trigger questions that can help you with that. And always make sure that you always come from a place of gratitude, which means you thank the audience, you thank the promoters, you thank the staff that's there. Even sometimes I'll thank the hotel staff that have made the room perfect, right? They did a great job. Because gratitude power for a speaker will open up more doors when you first start than all of your knowledge. And just understand that, right? When you walk on the stage, it's your stage. So you've got to come from a place of passion, purpose, power, but always make sure that you're coming from a place of being a little humble, of being gracious, because you didn't fill that room. You walked into someone else's event and started speaking. I share this with you because most speakers that I've trained, that I've worked with, you could be the greatest speaker ever. But if you do not have a good rapport with the audience, with the staff, with the team that runs the event, it's not going to help your sales very much. And when I talk about public speaking, there's a lot of ways you can look at this. Number one, and these are all optional, right? But number one is called, and I want to get this down for you, right? These are called paid gigs, right? So people always say, well, I want to get paid gigs. I say, well, to get paid gigs, you know, a lot of times it means you're a best-selling author. You've already got a database. You've been on media. You've got a great story, or you become a great coach and you've served a lot of clients, right? And that might take a little while, and that's okay, because I like paid gigs too, but I also like speak to sell. So I want you to write this down too. Just write down number S, S2S, right? And people don't hear this and all, but S2S, people talk about S2S, they're talking about speak to sell. You know, and that's different than someone that's just going to get up there and give a nice talk and get paid some money. I think it's really critically important that whether you're going to do paid gigs or speak to sell, let me just say something. They are all the right answer. So if someone says, which one's better, speak to sell or get paid? No, they're all the right answer. So don't discount this stuff. Does that make sense, everybody? You know, be willing to kind of get outside your comfort zone a little bit and figure out, once again, what are you great at? Does it serve a lot of people? Is there money in the industry? And then, of course, would you do it for free? See, this is what the difference is between those that make some money, those that make all the money. Hi, Sue Lynn from Gilbert, Arizona. I'd love to have you on. Thanks. But if you can say yes to those four things, great at what you do, serves a lot of people, money in the space, do it for free, then you should be on stage selling. How many people listening today could be probably good at all those four? If you're good at all those four, this is more of a conversation, you guys. Just put number one in there. Put number one in your little comment box. If you're on YouTube, I probably won't see your comment box. Maybe I will. Looks like I'm seeing some comments from YouTube, so that's cool. But this is an easy way to get through the process. Is you meet those barriers, and if you do, then you should be on stage selling. There's no reason you should wait. You should put together whatever you're going to offer. And I want to make sure you understand a few things too, that as you're going to go down the road of the speaker, I'll tell you one of the fastest ways to get started as a speaker is, and I just want, I'm going to put this in the post for you guys as well, but become an author. They're like, well, Bill, that's so hard. People charge me 40 grand to be an author. I'm going to give you guys a shortcut today, and just trust me on this. Go to a website called Killer Covers. Get a cover done. Killer Covers. Cost you a couple $100 to get your cover done. The minute you got the cover done, you go to Facebook and you set up a page, a business page as an author. And you put your cover of your book on the business page as an author site. And see, what most of us don't realize is that we never give ourselves a chance to win. But I'm telling you, there are people on stages around the world with 10% of your talent making 10 times your money. And I know that has got to just make you upset. But the minute you get the book cover done, put it on your Facebook. You want to become what's called blue check verified on Facebook to become a public figure. You can go to my Bill Walsh page. You'll see blue check verification. Then you can download an app called Creator. Creator allows you to broadcast to a lot more people for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Take the book cover, and this is exactly what I'll tell you to do, is that just write down 10 chapters you'd like to talk about. 10 chapters. When I did my book, I wrote a best-selling book called The Obvious. And all I did to write The Obvious, I went into a machine, I recorded 10 videos. And each of those videos were 10 minutes long. And before you know it, I took those audios and I sent them to a team, right? And you can write this down too, called Content Divas. Hello, Robert, good to have you on. And Content Divas took the audio files and made the video files and made them written word. And within 30 days, we released my book called The Obvious, became an Amazon bestseller, right? I did everything for less than $1,000. So please don't let other people get in the way of your dreams, right? If you have 10 topics you can speak about for 10 minutes each, you got a book done. And I mean 10 topics down one area, one zone, right? Mine was business growth. I wrote about the 10 laws to have success. And these are things, once again, that it wasn't even the fact that the book may not be the best book out there. It didn't matter. The minute you got a book published, put you in the top 2% of the world. 98% will never publish a book. But the minute the book is done, now you got a story. Then you go to something like Haro. Get yourself listed, help a reporter. So people get to see your messaging, right? Important, everybody, get your own YouTube page set up. Hello, Yasil. Would you recommend selling them in Kindle? Sure, sell them anywhere. My book's on Amazon for like 20 bucks and I donate all the money. I take none of the money. I wasn't interested in selling books. The book is nothing but a door opener for you as a speaker. Hey, Wayne, how are you? The book is a door opener that gets more people into your message. Does that make sense? So the minute you start to realize that the door gets open because of the book gets you more speaking gigs. Hi, Morris. The book gets you on more stages. Now the book becomes what? Part of your arsenal of your tools. See, in addition to that, get a press release done. There's a service called Scripted. They'll write your press releases for you. Another group called E-Releases. They'll send them out for you. And this is all why you're saving a lot of money. Does it make sense, everybody? And what we did is when we designed our Platinum Speaker program, come spend 5 days with me in my home in September. We build your product box. We shoot your promo video. And in 6 days, we put you on the stage, speaking and selling your program. Because the worst thing in life is to be great at something and never bring it to market. I think it's a travesty. I watch super talented people that have great stuff that never get on stage because someone told them they weren't good enough. I'm telling you today that if you're great at what you do, serves a lot of people, there's money in the space, and you're passionate about it, you should be on stage creating some of your own products. And sure enough, you know, as you get down this, you get the book cover done, now all of a sudden you've got your Instagram account set up. I highly recommend that if you're going to get this thing going fast, go get another free account set up called Anchor. At Anchor, you can launch your podcast. Now, here's the secret about podcasts. Don't spend all kinds of promotional dollars. Get a podcast set up with Anchor. It puts you on Spotify, puts you on iTunes, right? All for next to nothing. Now, once this is done, here's the secret, everybody. Here's the secret that nobody tells you, because I don't know why they don't tell you. It's crazy. But the money, just so you guys know, please write this down, the money's in the list. So every time you speak somewhere, you should be giving away free stuff. And the free stuff should be some of your content or your intellectual property. And I'll give you a simple example of this, right? So just for listening today, for a free copy, right, just so you know, let me just type this out. Usually there's people here helping me with this, but that's okay. Of my book, The Obvious, right, just text. All you gotta do is text the word obvious, if I spell it right, to 26786 from your cell phone. Now, if you'll do that, you'll get a copy of my book today. And you'll get all kinds of other great videos on growing your business. See, what most of us don't realize, we're busy trying to sell all kinds of stuff and just give away some of your best stuff for free. See, if they like the free stuff, they'll come back and buy the rest. Does that make sense? It's a mistake that we make, that we try to move people down and take action, buy this right now. No, just please write this down. Slow your roll. You can slow your roll and get them engaged. And I see a couple of people have already opted in. Thank you. The first one I just seen got, then we'll give a couple of gifts away on top of this, right? Then why not, right? Somebody just opted in from 2A1. Congratulations, right? So the idea is create something that you can bring to market everywhere. Bring a couple of copies of the book. Someone's in the 480. Your number ends in 4438. I got a special gift for you. You're one of the first ones opting in. Thank you. So it's the little things that we just don't do that we don't build a list, because what you want to do is give away good free content, get them into a list, and let them know other things you have going on. You know, tomorrow we have a meeting on the same exact location on YouTube, but we're going to interview the SVP of a little company called iHeartMedia. Now, how many would like to learn from someone like that? We also have the head of BNI for 7 chapters in Manhattan speaking tomorrow, how to network online and offline. She's been running networking events now for years in the biggest market in the country, the #1 BNI group in the whole country. But to have her come on and give content, once again, people like her, we give away free gifts, we build a list. So as a speaker, you've got to make sure you got the tools in place so you can build a list. If you're going to be a speaker, everybody, please understand it's not about spending tons of money on a lot of these tools. A lot of these tools are very inexpensive, but you got to get them working in stereo. So the thing I do recommend too, month 2 of your speaker journey, get a virtual admin for, let's say, 10 hours a week. Maybe spend $50 a week on a virtual admin, right? But don't wait on this stuff, because what happens is time decay sets in. I never stop working on innovation. I never stop spending money on new ways, right? Hello, Caradad Rodriguez. Good to have you on. Thank you. Hello, Angela. Thanks for having on. Hope you guys are getting some good information on this. Because a lot of this is not that we couldn't find all this stuff, but it'll take you years to figure it out. And so the idea, once again, if you're a speaker in your niche, and this is important, everybody, pick your niche. So just go write this one down, right? This is really important. One of my good friends, he wrote a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. He told me this like 10 years ago. He said, pick your niche and get to the top 10. Pick your niche, get to the top 10. He said, because in the top 10 is where all the money's at. Please understand this, and you've heard this a number of times, right? If you hang out with 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. It's only a matter of time. You know, so when you begin to think about this, and it's kind of like, well, Bill, what do I sell them then? So now I've got all these tools. I start to get booked on stages. What am I going to sell? Well, let me tell you one of the easiest things an expert can sell. And I don't recommend this, but for the first $10,000 a month, I do recommend it. Once you're over $10,000 a month in revenue, I don't recommend this. But for the first $10,000 a month that comes in every month, that'll pay most people's basic bills, or for some might pay almost all your bills, right? Whatever it is. But I recommend that you offer, and just write this down. This is the simplest model, right? You move them from a free consultation to some private coaching. I'd be like, oh man, I got to sell private coaching. Just write this down. Do not ever sell coaching by the hour again. You only sell it in 90-day blocks. So they get 12 weeks with you, 8 weeks with you, right? Because what I've found is that if you're trying to sell coaching by the hour, you're going to go mentally broke. You just don't know it yet. Have a select number of clients. Maybe if you're going to charge, let's say, $3,000 a quarter, whatever the number is going to be for your coaching package, right? Well, then you can only take 10 clients a month. But at 10 clients a month, that's 10 hours a month of your actual time. Now, all of a sudden, you've built yourself something where you can then take those coaching dollars, reinvest it. So when I think about what can I sell, number one is your time. It's the worst thing to sell, but it's good for paying the bills. It also keeps you sharp. When you're doing private coaching for individuals that are really up to their game, and you're going to help them really go to the next level, they love to spend time with you, which means a lot of times they'll want more. So I always recommend that you can do this too. Do some like 1-hour workshops online. Do some free webinars like this. Just give out great content. Believe me, people are going to find you. You start giving out good content, they're going to love it. Hey, Robert, thank you. Good. I hope this is helpful for everybody. We'll make this a recording too so you can get some more information on this. But it's really important that as you're starting out, once again, that stay on top of your game. Keep going to events. When I first started, I didn't really understand the whole mastermind business. But I started investing in masterminds, not just to attend everybody. I looked for events I could sponsor. If you want to know how we went from not even on the list to the top 5 in less than 5 years, I sponsored our way through great events to meet great people. It opened up all the doors that we could do. And I picked events where there's 2 things I look for. Just write this down. I look for perfect customers and perfect connections. Perfect. And some sponsorship fees were $200. Some were 500 bucks. Some were $25,000, $35,000 to sponsor, right? All I cared about was two questions. Is the perfect customer there or are perfect partners there? And if I could find marketing partners, I knew it was a home run. Hey, Wanda, how are you? Always good to have you on. You're such a rock star. Wanda Trotter, just an absolute superstar. Just doing some great work. You know, we were planning to come to Tampa. We had to move it out to January. I just can't, there's just too much craziness right now in Florida. So, but when you start to really understand just how powerful you can become, you need to write this one down. Stop discounting your value. If you can really serve somebody, stop discounting your value. Because I promise you this, if you make it free, they'll always take it for free. They just will. If you make it free, they will take it for free. And that doesn't work, because I truly know that when people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. When they pay a real lot, they pay a lot of attention. Does that make sense, everybody? So you got to begin to think, right? You know, what could I do starting today, right? Not next week or next month. Today, to begin to really change the business model for how I go to market with my coaching. And I can tell you that we offer coaching programs that range from as little as $3,000 as much as $1 million a year, and everything in between. So make sure you understand that do not discount your value. Jim, good to have you on. Thanks for being on today. You know, and the thing a lot of times people don't understand is that, you know, if you can really solve somebody's problems, the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. The bigger the problem, the bigger the payday. So begin to be very clear on what you can do and what you can't do. And if things you can't do, then just say no. Just say move on. I see a lot of coaches try to become a generalist. Write this down. Be the specialist. Generalists get paid, specialists get wealthy. Pick your niche, right? I tell people I'm not a relationship coach. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a motivational coach. I'm not a health and wellness coach. I certainly can't cook at all, but I'm a damn good business coach. I've been ranked 5 years top 30 in the world by Guru Magazine with Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy and all these incredible, Marshall Goldsmith, all these incredible coaches, right? So I know the lane that I'm in and I'm really good at it, right? But it's important for you today to write down, hey, Bill, this is my lane, right? I'm an expert in this. And the expert that you're in, it should be easily found by everyone that searches for you. Which, what are you really great at? Serves a lot of people, money in the space, right? So when I talked about how do we open the doors through sponsorship, and I'll give you a simple secret. Every Sunday night, go look through all the emails who you got invited out to and just send it back and just change the subject line. Make the subject line say this: sponsor and speak at your event. Because if you send that to anyone that runs events or promoters, digital or live, they will call you within 24 hours. They can't wait to get you on the phone. Because I don't care how big the promoters are, they always need more money. They just do, right? Thanks, Facebook user. You might not have accepted the thing. So if it says Facebook user, you might not have accepted StreamYard's little, comment that it's okay to show your name. But I love you guys, and thanks for being here today. And I hope you're getting a lot of good nuggets you can use right away, because as we began to scale this, right, after years, right, this is 5 years after we did our first events. People came and said, Bill, can you train me how to speak and sell like you do on stage? And I became the foremost expert in studying every speaker camp that was out there. And what I found by all these camps, there was tons and tons of great content, but they never put the person on the stage. They never actually went and spoke. See, I don't care how great your training is. The greatest training you'll ever have is doing it, yes or no. Being on webinars, being on telesummits, right? And you might say, well, I do that now. I say, great, but do you sell from the stage? It's not just about being on a live event. It's, are you actually speaking to sell from stage? And that's what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for those that would have a passion to speak and sell from stage, their own content, their own stuff, their own gift, and then work with you guys for a year. Because what we did is when we launched our program, the whole idea was that, put them through a 5-day intensive, build their product box, shoot their promo video, literally teach them how to run their own events, how to fill their own events, how to get on the stages, right? How to do all their pricing from their digital product all the way down to their private coaching, how to run and fill their own events, right? How to use digital today, because digital is not going to slow down. It is only getting faster. And there are new tools every day. I just looked at a brand new one today called Wowza. Wowza.com is a new tool for streaming. StreamYard's a great tool. Zoom is a great tool. There are so many new great tools for streaming. Another one's called Restream.io, right? I'm looking at all these new tools and figuring out, well, which one's the best, right? And what I'd like to do is give our team and our customers, instead of you going to spend 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a guess at this stuff, how about someone do the work for you and shows you step by step how to put these things in motion? So we did differently, as I said, after our 5-day course. They send me a 60-minute video of which we teach them how to deliver. And then we watch it together and we put them on a stage. Because what I've found is that the minute someone gets on a stage and they start monetizing it, they get addicted to it. You know, and if that's kind of like you, if you're a specialist, if you're great at what you do, and I'd love to hear from you, right? If you have a passion to speak and sell from stage, and this is really, I'm speaking to you right now, that if you know that, hey, Bill, I'm great at what I do and I have a passion to speak and sell from stage, I'm going to have you text this, I'm going to show this just one time today, right? But if you'll just text the word platinum, text platinum, 26786 from your cell phone. I see Alicia. Alicia's saying something. Let me get your comment, Alicia. Hang on a second. But this is really that, Bill, I'm really damn good at what I do. And I would love to sell from stage. Alicia, see, I see, there you go. See what you got there? Let me try to read your post. That would be me. I can sell from stage and super passionate about public speaking. And what I'm talking about selling from stage, just so you guys know, is that we're looking to train those that would like to sell the 1K to 5K from the stage to a cold audience, right? Not knowing the audience at all. But the question I get a lot is, well, where are potential places that I could even start out to speak? So let me give you a few places to start, because this is always super important, right? I always recommend that if you live in a certain marketplace, you study a website called Eventbrite. There's Eventbrite and there's one called Meetup. I like to study all the Eventbrites and all the meetups and figure out which one of these might be a good place for me to get bookings, right? And all you're looking for, once again, is who's the perfect audience. Now, you're not going there and walking around. Don't go there and spray and pray and start passing out your business cards, right? You're going there to sponsor and speak and get on the stage for 5 or 10 minutes and then leave. If it's a virtual event, same thing, 5 or 10 minutes and you're out. See, because the difference is that these are not your events, right? But if they give you a chance to sponsor and speak and get on that stage, you can build something we talked about in the beginning. One of the most important things that most speakers miss, everybody, please write this down, is build a list. I don't care how good you think you are, just look at your database. How big is your list, right? Our entire basis of marketing for this event was done in the last 90 minutes. We sent out one email, sent out a text message, that was it, and invited some folks to come out and watch this. And because of that, so many folks have plugged in, so many watch parties, all in that short period of time. So I'm telling you today, it is your job every week and every day to be able to get yourself out there to build those lists. But I like the local events. I like Rotaries. I like LaTibs. I like chambers. These are always, now don't buy and join any chambers. Just tell them, listen, I'll waive my fee, but I'll come speak there. Because it really is your job to stay on the offense with your marketing. And now a lot of this is all virtual. People are doing so much of this stuff virtual. I mean, you're seeing virtual stuff like crazy. Hey, Cheryl, I don't think that's the right number for you. You might want to check that number. I don't think that's the right number. But, you know, these are things, once again, that as we're starting out, as you're starting out today, you've got to ask yourself, if I can get on some of these stages, here's the magic pill that nobody gets. You've got to film some of those talks. You got to post some of those talks. You got to get yourself out there. You got to run national press releases to stuff that you're doing where you can spend just a few $100 and still get messaging out to the marketplace on your topic. You also have to understand there are certain groups that are looking today, right? NAWBO, National Association of Women Business Owners, always looking for speakers. They have chapters in every city in the country, right? So look for groups where you can add value. Maybe you don't sell, maybe you give away 10 copies of your new book that comes out in 2 years, right? Comes out in a year. But these are things, once again, that we've got to stay on the offense. If you want to speak to millionaires in a market, it's called Vistage. Write down Vistage. See, but what I find is that most people will spend more on their vacation than they will to spend on their own success. And I think it's sad. I watch so many talented folks that I've met that have such gifts, And I'm like, and this is important about it too, is that quit trying to be the judge of your own gift. Quit trying to be the judge of your own gift. See, the funny thing is that it's hard to see yourself when you're in the picture. But if someone else can see the picture, they can see minor adjustments you can make and turn into an absolute rock star. So I would challenge you today, and I know we got a lot of folks that are plugging in, but take some of these little tools I'm giving you and begin to figure out, how does that relate to my business, right? How can I use these things to grow my business? Because if you're online, there's like YouNow, there's Instant Teleseminar, there's Udemy, there's ClickBank. There's so many new resources out there that you can now begin to stream on, right? You can begin to put your products and services out there. Because as soon as you've done 3 talks of 30 minutes each, you now have what's called a digital product. Like, damn, he makes it sound so easy. It's only so easy because I've done it so many times. Does that make sense? But these are the things that most speakers don't do, the pitfalls, because they're so busy working on their ego. And I would tell you today as a speaker, man, check your ego. Hey, Jeff, how are you, man? Good to have you on. Jeff, let me send you a code. If you want to come on, I'd love to have you on the stream for a second. I'll bring you on the stream so you can just say hello for a second. That'd be kind of cool. See, but most of us don't understand just how good we can become, because I want you to think this through for a second. In your area of expertise, just write down, my area of expertise is this, Bill, whatever your area of expertise is. I'd like you to, for a moment for me, I'd like you to write down and just think this through, right? How many customers in your area of expertise would you like to serve in the next year? How many customers in your area of expertise would you like to serve in the next year? You see how all of a sudden it becomes a different question? Not how much money you're going to make. How many customers would like to serve, right, in the next year? And all of a sudden, this becomes a whole different story, right? Because we get caught up on, little things, but we don't miss, the little things make us miss the big things. And I'm telling you, the big things right now is bringing your story to the marketplace. It's sharing your wisdom with the world. And just don't let people slow you down from that. And really, once you have some of these things in motion, you've got some of the tools, and you start to do it, right? You have to understand that the secret, the really secret behind a lot of stuff, it's called execution. Which means if you're part-time, just write this down, 1 to 2 speaking events a month. If you're full-time, you're speaking 4 times a month, at least. 4 times a month is 48 talks a year. I've done sometimes 4 talks in a day, but I'm on the far crazy side of this stuff, right? But I didn't come from a whole lot, right? So for me to make $10,000 an hour or a whole lot more, I'd have to be crazy not to go make the money. And I want you to think about this, right? If you're on the stream today and you could sell products at, let's say, $1,000 to $5,000, and you got good at that, and you really love the idea of serving clients in your area of expertise, please don't be the judge of your expertise, right? Shoot me a quick text. We'll set up a quick phone call. Just text Platinum to 26786. My team will set up a call, fill out a quick survey, figure out if you're someone that might be a fit for some of our stages. Would you like to speak on digital, on local, regional, national stages? If you think you might be a good fit, take a moment and text it in. But the big secrets when it comes to speaking and really how to generate revenue in this business, and this is so important, you guys all write this down, that you got to treat it like a business. You have to treat your speaker business like any other business, which means each week, how many clients am I going to talk to? Each week, how many presentations will I make? Each week, how many new customers will I serve? And you've got to ask those tough questions right away. It's a mistake that many of us make not to get outside the comfort zone. And, oh, you're a speaker, it must be this, it must be that. No, listen, great speakers, whatever you see on stage, they work 10 times that behind the stage. That's why speakers are still the highest paid profession in the world, because only for the time you spend doing it. They don't talk about all the rest of the time that goes into it. And please don't ever stop reading, right? Get on Audible, listen to some good books each week, right? And always study speakers. There's a lot of great speakers that I study. Jim Rohn. Watch how Jim Rohn communicates. Watch Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a master on stage at communicating with the audience. There's a number of people that are like this, right? I know it sounds crazy, but go watch Drake. I'm a Drake fan. My kids, I've been going to see Drake for years, right? But I'll tell you what, when it comes to showmanship, his ability to move and connect with the entire audience, it's unbelievable. Look at the stage he created when he was on tour. He had a stage completely open from end to end. You think that's by accident or by design? No, it's 100% by design. So I'm telling you, there are a lot of speakers out there that do a phenomenal job of owning the room and really mastering the art of communication. And part of that is, please understand this, everybody, stay away from politics. Stay away from religion. Even if you like a candidate, who cares, right? That's your personal business when you're on the stage. Because when you're on the stage, you're there to serve the promoter. You're there to help out and make a difference, right? You're there to make sure that in your hour, you've delivered massive content. And then for those that see it, great. And for those that don't, you don't care. A big mistake a lot of speakers make, and I want you to write this down, a lot of speakers miss this one, that they're not able to disconnect from the outcome. The minute you take that stage, everybody, you've got to be able to disconnect from the outcome. If you can disconnect from the outcome, you become a way more powerful speaker. And so I would tell you today that whether they buy or not, you don't care. You go deliver. If there's one person there or 10,000, you give them the same energy. It doesn't matter, right? I've done events where there's supposed to be 500 people there and there's 25. Doesn't matter. Those 25 got the same energy. I have events supposed to be 2,000. It was 10,000. They couldn't even get in the doors. The fire department made people stand outside of Malaysia and London, right? They wouldn't let them in. Didn't matter. Same energy, right? I made a mistake going down in the crowds. When the crowds get that big, don't go in the arena. That can get kind of scary, right? Plus the camera can't see anymore, so you disconnect with the audience. These are little things, but they're all big things. And I share this with you because we live in a world today, we need more women speakers. We have a big shortage of women speakers. It's hard to name 10 women on the planet that effectively sell from the stage cold market, not their own markets, cold market, when they sell $1,000 to $10,000 programs. You know, you probably know Lisa Nichols, she's very good. There's another that are really good, Laurel Langmeyer, but it gets down to that list and all of a sudden it's gone. So I'm telling you, if you're a woman today and you've got a message and you've got a great product or service you want to bring to market, please don't judge yourself. Let's at least have a conversation. Just text platinum to 26786 and my team will set up a call. But boy, if you're great at something, don't take it to your grave either. Take your message, take your story and bring it out to the marketplace as soon as you possibly can. Because I don't believe that, you know, the top speakers, they might not have been born yet. Because everything's going to change, right? You're not only going live, in live events, you're going digital. And digital's all over the world. And now you can take your message. Once you've done 3 recordings, you got a digital product. You made 3 recordings anywhere online, that can become a digital product. And there are companies that will sell that for you. So please, as you're listening today, don't be lazy with your goals and dreams. Don't let anybody else steal your thunder. Don't let anybody else tell you well, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. Listen, funny thing is, you know, if I ever listened to all the naysayers, I'd have never I never left my house, right? There's always going to be negative people that just can't wait to drag you down. And so hopefully today you've gotten a lot of cool tools, but the big tool is the execution, the action. That you don't got to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. And I'm looking for the great ones today. You tell me, hey, Bill, I'm really good at this. Let's set up a call and see if we can work together. Is there some ways that we can help each other out? How can you become part of our national events, right? We'll have people on from all over the world tomorrow, right? So come back tomorrow, 3 o'clock, same time. There'll be a different link or whatnot, but get plugged in. You probably get our messages anyway, right? But you might know somebody. What I've found a lot of times that you might be listening today and saying, this is for my spouse. I've had more spouses buy this course, buy our platinum program, than anywhere else because like, no, my husband needs this or my wife, she needs this. My wife will kill it with your course, right? And it's important because today is your day. You know, tomorrow's not here, yesterday's gone, so what you have is the present. So figure out once again, write down what you're great at. Does it serve a lot of people? Do people in the space have some money? And are you really passionate about it? But if you can say yes to those 4 things, you should be on stage selling. Pretty simple. I could be wrong. I've been wrong a few times, right? Plenty of times I made mistakes, right? But when it comes to speakers, I really do know if someone's great at what they do and it serves a lot of people, there's a market for it. But you've got to be willing, once again, to step outside that comfort zone and go to work at it. And if you're not going to commit to give 100 talks, you know, from now, and you're going to start, let's say I'm going to start in a month or 2 months, whatever it is, come to the September class, you're on stage by November, right? And the September class is actually at my home, so it's pretty cool. We only have 20 speakers, only 20 slots, nowhere to hide. But I'm looking for those that are absolutely dead committed. They're like, Bill, I'll do what it takes. Just coach me. Show me exactly what to do step by step. And I'll follow the rules. Because to me, that's where the magic's at. The magic is that when you can really take what you're great at and discover how to monetize it from stage, and you get to serve a lot of clients, it'll bring you a lot of joy in your life. I did a call yesterday with some guys from Australia, and funny thing is that 2 of my students that were there, he said, oh no, I've partnered with those guys. Those guys are the best. He said, that's funny. They're both my students. I'm like, oh my God, you train those guys? How can I team up with you? And you see how fast that can happen? So it's understanding that if you can get around the right people, you get around the right place, the right people always show up. So I would challenge you today that ask yourself, whatever got you to this level in your life when it comes to your business, will it get to the next level? If it hasn't done that, right, when do you think might be a good time to start? I'm not going to say that it's easy. I'm just going to say that it's possible. And hopefully what I've covered today definitely gives you some insight, some wisdom to getting those things done. And I want to thank our entire team for making this possible. But if this resonates with you at all, like I said, all you got to do right now is just text the word platinum to 26786. We'll get you set up for a consult and go from there. So I want to say once again, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed today. Don't forget we're back at the same time tomorrow with some great stuff. And if you really, once again, have a passion to speak and sell, don't let nobody, let no thing stop you from going after your biggest dreams. Once again, it's Bill Walsh with Power Team International. Talk to you guys real soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.